Jesus said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. Underline the word all. All things are possible to him, to her, whosoever that believes. All things are possible to him. This teaching of believing, having strong confidence, having confidence and hope and faith in God is what that is a principle that works in any direction. It must not be that you are a Christian before this principle can work. It does not mean that you have to be in other religion before this principle works for anybody that engage in this principle. We are privileged as believers, as Christians, to have the Holy Bible, who stated out several principles for progress and increase in life. And in most cases, we do not engage this principle. When the people in the world engage in this principle, they profit and succeed in it. That is why at this moment I'm bringing this message to you, telling you to understand the importance of believing. Lord, I believe that you can deliver me. Lord, I believe that this chain can be broken. Lord, I believe that this affliction can be terminated. Lord, I believe that this cannot continue. Lord, I believe that all things are possible to me because I believe in your name. Another word that we can use for in place of believing is faith. Having strong faith and confidence in God. The scripture clearly stated that all things are possible to them that believe. All things are possible to the man that believes. All things is possible to the woman that believes. It's not only possible to those who are born again. It's not only possible to those who are living in sin, but for them that believe. If only you can believe, all things become possible. But becoming a Christian, becoming a believer, that's what has strengthened your faith, strengthen you in believing the more, and that give you a speedy access to whatever you request for. To them that believe, nothing is impossible. That implies that impossibility is only for those that do not believe. That means impossibility is only for unbeliever. But as long as you are believing God, all things are possible. Possibility begins at the point of believing. At the point where you begin to build up your most holy faith in God, not in the things that happen, not what your eyes can see, not what your ears can hear, but believing only in what God says. That is the beginning, that is the starting point of possibility. There is a notion who said sin is believing. That statement is a statement of an unbeliever. Because a believer who has seen with the eyes of the Spirit, eyes of faith, will say, believing is receiving, believing is seeing. Until you believe it in the Spirit, you can't perceive it in the earthly realm. Until you believe it in the Spirit, you can't have it in real life. Until you believe it in the Spirit, you can't touch it. What a man that we have like Elisha. He said, I hear the sound of abundant of rain. I hear the sound of an abundant of rain. He heard it, perceived it with the eyes of the Spirit, with the ear of the Spirit. He behold the sound of abundant of rain. But the carnal man, the ordinary man, an unbeliever, will be expecting to see, let there be lightning, let there be thundering, let there be wave, let there be wind blowing. Then you say, and the cloud begins begin to change, that is when they will believe that there's rain coming. But a man of the spirit, a man like Prophet Elijah, will believe that say, I see, I can hear the sound of abundance of rain. What did he see? He only see the finger of man in the sky. He saw the finger of God in the sky, like in the form of the shape of the hand of man in the sky. And that is what it began to proclaim. He said, I hear the sound of abundance of rain. All things are possible to them that believe. What is that situation in your life? Why not begin to believe the Father today? Believe God for your healing. Believe God for your deliverance. Believe God for your breakthrough. Believe God for your for terminating issues that are around your life. Believe God for total transformation. Believe God that you can live a life of holiness, a life of purity, a life of righteousness. They all begin at the point of believing. If only you can believe, all things are possible to them that believe. When you believe, you will do what? You will begin to confess. When a man believes a thing, his confession change towards that thing. When a man truly believes, a confession change. He proclaims that which he believes, and he do what? He act on those things that he believes. The father of the little child say, Lord, I believe. What are those situations in your life? Is it sickness? Why not tell the Lord, Lord, I believe that I am healed? Because the scripture says, by his stripe you are healed. Then believe on that scripture. Everything on earth will fail, but the word of the Lord cannot fail. Then cleave to that word. Stand by the word. Believe that word and say, Lord, all things are possible through you. And your word says that if any man believe in you, all things are possible. And the scripture said, by his stripe, by the stripe of Jesus, I am healed. Then I am healed. Confess it. Proclaim your deliverance. Confess your deliverance. Lord, I believe. Lord, I receive. Lord, I am healed. Lord, my sin is forgiven by the reason of Christ's death on the cross. Oh Lord, I am not cursed, I am blessed. Confess it, proclaim it. Then I say, Lord, I can never be down, I am up. I can never be sick, I am healed. I can never be afflicted because I am a priest of the Lord. Confess those things. Live a life of believing. Put aside all those unbelief. It is time to believe the Lord for your progress. The year is coming to an end. Start proclaiming things, confessing positive things concerning the year ahead. Everything will pass away and may pass away. The word of Christ will never pass away. So pick a scriptural verse that pertain to what the situation you are passing through. Believe God for that promise. Believe God for that promise and covenant. Make a covenant with God and say, Lord, this is your word. This is your word. This is your word. And this must be to come to pass in my life. There are bloodlines that have issue with premature death. Then pick the scripture in Psalm 96 and in verse 6, Psalm 91 and in verse 16 and say, Lord, your word said, with long life will you satisfy me. So premature death of my bloodline has nothing to do with me. Believe God for that. I've told you earlier, possibility begins at the point of what? Of believing. Possibility begin at the point of believing. When you begin to believe, all things are possible. I've said it earlier. This principle can work for everyone.